Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Nine Wives. Don't forget to go watch Nine Wives, man. I totally appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And Checks and Balances coming May 19th. Finally got a chance to watch Boo Bud's interview with Jerron Boots Ennis. Um, um, yeah. This ain't no shade video. This is a video just because Jerron Ennis is next. Without a shadow of a doubt, he's next. And he got to learn the business of boxing. He said two things that kind of alarmed me. He said he had a fight April 30th, but had a bigger opportunity on May 14th. Jerron Ennis, she was never going to fight on April 30th. You can't. There's no room, man. Katie Taylor, what's the young lady's name? Oh, shit, I don't know. Oh, man, what's her name? One of the sisters. And Oscar Valdez and Shakur Stevenson, they would have never put you on April 30th. And that's just, they said they gave you the option to put you on as the co-main event. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's like telling your son, hey, do you want to go play with your cousins, or do you want to stay home by yourself? You see what I'm saying? He ain't gonna say I want to stay home by myself. He gonna say I want to go play at my cousin's on Saturday. And two, when he talked about his deal with Showtime, he kind of fanned it off and didn't speak articulately as it pertains to the business. Like, how many fights is it? You know, um, we don't, obviously, no fighter gives us the true details of the contract, but how many times are you fighting this year? Do you have a date? Do you have an opponent after this? Um, are you staying in the IBF? Is it years or is it fights? And do you have to fight a certain many times a year? I think he didn't answer that question well. And the reason why I'm doing this video, because I'm using Jerron Ennis' name to hopefully inspire y'all fighters. Learn the business of boxing through and through. Learn the business of boxing as much as you learn boxing. And Jerron Ennis is a special talent. We'll see against Custio Clayton. It's a step up fight, supposedly. Um, I think it was a draw or something with what's the guy's name? The guy he stopped. Anyways, enough said about that. Fighters, learn the business of boxing and speak articulately and speak forward, because when you're speaking to your manager, you're speaking to your promoter, you're speaking to your network like you know what's going on. Don't give answers as if you're giving them all the power. Ask Roy Jones, who gave you that compliment. Ask Roy Jones about the business of boxing. He will sit down with you and explain it to you how he went independent and then came back to HBO and worked with his father. And by no means am I saying that you guys are not adequate or intelligent enough. But when you get asked these questions about the business of boxing, you have to speak as articulately as you sounded when you spoke about, at the end of the interview, when you spoke about um, um, whatever. What you guys spoke about the veterans in boxing, the old people, how you had an elongated answer about retired fighters. You need to have that type of answer for the business of boxing. I wish you well. Um, you're never gonna fight Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. There's no way they would take that risk with you, because Errol Spence is about to vacate after this next fight. One more fight. So Cameron Duncan wouldn't take that risk. Even if he believes you can beat Earl Spence, he wouldn't take that risk. He would rather you fight for a vacant title against a number two opponent that's from Poland, and you mop him up and you become a world champion. Honestly, that's the realities of it. You know, he's trying to put Brian Norman in that position right now. So we'll see if Showtime picks up a Brian Norman fight on the Saturday night so he can fight for a belt at 140, once they become vacant. So we'll see. Anyways, man, barbershop conversation. Jerron Ennis, I wish you well. Don't interpret this video as a diss. You're just a young guy, and I'm an old man, and I pick up on stuff like this. So um, I wish you well. May 14th, you're the co-main event. I think that's going to be a strong card. Honestly, I think that those fights are going to sell well out here in LA. And yeah, show up and show out. And it's LA, May 14th. Um, I'm waiting for a fighter to do her entrance for a weigh-in outside of Floyd Mayweather. Fighters, do an entrance for the weigh-in too. You know what I mean? Don't just do it for the fight and thank me later, because someone's going to do it in the next couple of months. Barbershop Conversations. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace, guys. Good luck to Geronis. I actually, I'm really emphasizing this ain't no hate video, because I know how you guys are. But you better learn the business of boxing and reach out to Floyd Mayweather. I mean, not Floyd Mayweather. Reach out to Roy Jones Jr. He has so many great stories about the business of boxing, because I know his whole career, and as it pertains to the business of boxing, and him learning on the fly, and him wanting to keep as much of the purse as possible, and him learning late, and him understanding who he was in the sport of boxing in the prime of his career. So barbershop conversations. Feel free to subscribe button. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.